If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, specializes in new residential custom drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
There's just one place where you could drive a new Acura ZDX for only $239 a month. The Customer Appreciation Sale at Acura of Pembroke Pines. Thank you for making us number one.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
We are live. It is the Squared Circle Digest Saturday Night Main Event Recap. I am Sean Stanley, and I'm joined by the great Heel Sammy down there. How we doing, Sammy?
Oh, we're doing good.
Look at you with the old school WWF hat and everything, man. You just,
I brought my wing. Yeah, it's winter, so we'll brought my wing heel.
Look at you, man. You just all there. What is that? Is that an old Shawn Michaels? What is that?
No, that's not.
Uh-oh. I didn't lose him, did I?
No, I'm here.
Okay, I can see you now. I got you. Okay. It frozen up a minute. I don't know. So
yeah, that might happen. It's having trouble, but it's on my side. You're good.
All good, man. All good. But what is the WrestleMania shirt again?
Yeah, it's a kind of vintage or something. I'm sure you know.
Okay. Oh, that's the Warrior. Okay. I thought that was Shawn Michaels.
No, it's Bret Hart. I think.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Okay. Awesome. All right. Saturday night's main event is in the books for you. Overall grade. Let's just go overall grade for you, Sammy. What did you think, man?
Well, it was like a B minus. I don't know. For me, Saturday Night's Main Event was a favorite of mine. Up there with WrestleMania and the Royal Rumble, probably Saturday Night's Main Event is one of the all-time favorites for me. The nostalgia when they started to bring them back for me was huge. The first one was okay, but I don't know if it's that Netflix kind of thing that now with Netflix has put the bar so high that maybe I was probably expecting even more. But overall, it was a good show. It wasn't a terrible show overall. But for me, between the B minus and the B, great. How about you?
Yeah, no, I think that's about where I'd say like a B. What is interesting it's still early in the voting, But overall, everybody's got it as a C right now. But I think a lot of that has to do with recency bias, and we'll get into the
Yeah.
main event in a little bit. But I think that kind of, I don't know. I'll say my piece there. But we'll dive right in. A lot of legends at this one. It was Alundra Blaze. She picked the title belt out of the garbage. She brought that in there. You had $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. You had Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Mark Henry, Dory Funk Jr.
Yes.
You had Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, which of course they're the brain busters, but they still threw up the fours because everybody knows them more for that. I love, and again, I know Dory's getting up there in the age bracket, man, and everything, but I love when they bring those guys back in, man, to get their flowers. Those guys, they paved the ways. I mean, I love the Mark Henrys and all them, but your Duggans, your, Funks, your, DiBiase too. Those guys are the ones that were there when this thing, to where it got started, and they paved the way for a lot of what we're able to see today.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of old school wrestling. I collect wrestling figures, and basically I collect all the goodies. The From the golden era of wrestling. Of course, it's a different kind of wrestling, the golden era of wrestling, but still the nostalgia for me is huge. So every time they bring all those favorites, all those legends, is great. And in this day and age, when we're bringing new fans into the fold, it's good for them to get their flowers and for people to recognize it. And for maybe some people to see NBC's and American and probably on Peacock don't know who they are, but maybe after that they find out who they are and look into back to the history of the World Federation, not WWE.
Yeah, and I like the fact they do at least a little presentation of them, when they wrestled. I mean, even Dory Funk Jr., even when he looked old when he wrestled before. I don't think he's ever had hair or anything. Like, even when he was, I thought Dory was way older than Terry, and that wasn't the fact all necessarily. So the first match we got was Nia Jax and Rhea Ripley. And I thought this was a really good match, but I found it odd because they had Nia kind of as the monster, and kind of she took, I thought most of the match was Nia. Then you got a couple of, again, Rhea doesn't get to do this often because most of the people Rhea faces, she's bigger than. But she was able to do some moves. She took to the air a couple times, tried to do a hurricanrana. You saw different things from Rhea that she could do in this match. And then ultimately, she uses her strength, gets the riptide, and wins. But overall for me, I thought it was a good showing. But in a way, I thought it should have been more back and forth. But I'm not complaining about it. But I thought, it made Rhea look a little bit more weak, almost like the old school baby faces. Ricky Steamboat, you get beat down and beat down and beat down, and then you pull it out at the end. To me, Rhea should be almost as much of a monster as Nia.
Yeah, they basically went to kind of vintage with this this match.
Yeah, you're right.
To the old times with the whole. I was looking for the body slam for her to body slam Nia. Or
the back injury.
My back. Because basically they turned the clock with that match. The huge monster, the big heel against the powerhouse in Rhea Ripley. So that the pace of the match basically was kind of an all vintage match. Of course. No one expected Nia Jax to win the match, but then again, Nia is running out of opponents. So it's curious what's going to happen there going forward because I don't think they're gonna put for her to beat Tiffany Stratton for the title back. So she's really running out of opponents. So it's going to be interesting what they do next with Nia Jax. But for the match, it was kind of a vintage match if you ask me.
Yeah, and to be honest, I thought really it would be more of a smart with everything that they've been doing with the whole. Liv Morgan, Tiffany Stratton. I thought that could have been a point to where, look, they have a great match. You do whatever, and then you could kind of ruin the ending with that, and then you don't have to have anybody put anybody over.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's just the older, style thinking of, like, why would you hurt your monster in a way? Because to me, I feel like Nia and Rhea are your monsters in the women's division, and you just had her go over pretty clean to, again, it's Rhea Ripley. I get that, but it still was a pretty clean victory after getting your ass whooped most of the match.
Yeah, they did their best to put Rhea really over. That's probably that's kind of obvious. They found a way to bring reality to the life. But those wrestling fans, those casual wrestling fans who probably don't watch SmackDown or Raw every single week, but Saturday night, football season is over, probably tomorrow championship game, but they're looking for something to watch, this WWE wrestling. I remember when they used to be on NBC, so they're probably putting some eyes into the WWE and for to be the better spot for them. Probably that for Rhea Ripley too.
Yeah, no, 100%. The next match, Sheamus went after the IC title with Bronn Breakker. Jesse the Body, or Jesse the Governor, whatever you want to call him, was at ringside. I love the fact they brought him back in, just the style that he is. But I do have one question about this match.
Mm-hmm.
There was the spot where the ref kind of goes for the 3 count. Jesse Ventura is the one pointing all of this out.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're on social media, which I'm sure a lot of you are, there's a picture posted of Sheamus with Jesse the Body Ventura saying robbed. I'm wondering if there's going to be more to this. Because I can't believe that Sheamus is just going to, the way that they aimed the 3 count with Jesse just saying it over and over and going after McAfee. I feel like this is the way of, okay, we got Bronn over, but now we can run it back if we need to by using this.
Yeah, probably that doesn't make any sense if the angle is basically that Sheamus needs that title to complete the Grand Slam or whatever it is. For him to lose and there will be no reward, that feud needs a way to continue. Of course, they're not doing the house shows as much as they used to, so they'll not be that for the house shows when they don't have any.
Yeah.
So they're probably gonna do that probably for maybe for WrestleMania. Bron Breakker may need a challenger for WrestleMania. It's a soon event, so anything can happen. So I would not be shocked if they extend that feud all the way to the road to WrestleMania. So
and then if another Saturday main event is in between, I don't know when the next, because it just odd for me to see Jesse involved in that area because Sheamus is the babyface.
Mm-hmm.
Although it felt like he was taking shots at Steiner. The only bad thing about him is he's a Steiner.
He's a Steiner. He's a Steiner.
Yeah, it's just like I was like, man, he's taking a lot of shots at. Josh is in, also no doubts in. Dad's in. Appreciate everybody watching us on X, Facebook, everywhere that you are tuning in with us. But yeah, so for me, that was the only thing I thought. They beat the hell out of each other. There's some great spots. The spear.
That was a banger.
Just jumping off of the steps. Sheamus got the bro kick in when he was going for there's a lot of so many good things in that match. And I wouldn't mind seeing it ran back again, but I just was interested to see where Jesse kind of fits in this because I get you doing all the stuff on commentary, but then to go on social media and make a post and say robbed, it almost feels like you're interjecting him into the thing, which I say leans more toward a Saturday night main event match, maybe more than WrestleMania. But hey, maybe you bring the governor into Vegas for a WrestleMania weekend and you have another
referee. Would it be the first time?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because he did say if the referee's opinion should stand, so maybe that's just what we're going to get. You're right. Jesse
he's been a referee. He's been a referee in SummerSlam twice, so maybe that's still the view all the way to August. Again, another event that's a 2-night event. They need all the help they can get during matches, so that bet run all the way to the summer. You never know.
Yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting to see how they lead into that area. The next thing up was the face-to-face. Of course, San Antonio's own, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, is the moderator. They come in, and apparently they go to break, so they make him talk for like 3 minutes. We come back, we find out he's sweating through his everything else because they had him doing all the stuff for the fans. You get KO out. KO comes in with the greatest shirt ever. Cody sucks egg. If anybody knows it, I thought it was great too because they showed Dory Funk right before those entrances, and then they bring in KO, and he's got the Terry Funk shirt on, and I was just like, KO is killing it with these shirts. The son of a Canadian, what was it?
Technician, something technician.
Technology assist or some technician or something. Yeah, I was like, this is great, man. This is what KO does so damn well. And overall, I thought, nothing earth shattering in the face to face. They just kind of, suckered each other in to try to throw a punch. Neither one of them would go. Cody signs, KO finally signs. Then they put the belts on the hanger. So I guess the hanger just goes with them for a week. Poor referee's got to carry around 2 belts in the hanger now in his luggage. So then they do all that. And then we go back many, many, many moons ago after KO attacks Cody, gets a super kick from Cody first. And then we got some sweet chin music. And I was giddy to see it, man. I was like, I wonder if he can still do it.
Yes.
He's getting up there, man. The hat fitting a little slicker there on the top of the head. And hopefully he didn't pull anything, but we did get sweet chin music on KO during that segment.
Absolutely. I was wondering the same thing because when they previewed him coming to the arena, he was limping, and I said, whoa, that I've never seen Shawn Michaels limp before, so that was a shocker to me. So that I was curious about that.
Yeah.
KO is doing such a great work.
He's so good on the mic too, man.
It reminds me a couple of years ago when he had that feud with Jericho, and he lost the belt before WrestleMania. That should have been the main event of WrestleMania, probably Jericho. And he's doing every time he gets the ball, he runs with it. So
he usually doesn't fumble it. There was a couple things that he said tonight, the little things like, it's amazing they have you as the moderator, since wasn't it you that lost your smile over a championship? Like there was little things that was like pointed at, I love those things because I don't understand why we have to act like things didn't happen sometimes.
Yeah, and he's such a good heel.
Yes.
That's so natural.
Yes. I almost don't want him to ever go face again. I would rather him just stay heel. I get it. Being a heel sucks because most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you're never going to get a title run because
the merchandise money and
the merchandise money things. But god damn it, he's so good, man.
Yeah, he's
so
absolutely
good. And the package pile drivers and all that. And that's also the other thing. That's right, man. I missed all that. I forgot to talk about that. He did set up Shawn Michaels on a table for a package pile driver before Cody. The save and all that stuff. So, but man, there's just so much good stuff as far as, with KO that I almost feel like at the Rumble, man. But then again, it's like you've done all of this up to this point for Cody to head into WrestleMania as the champion. Mm-hmm. But it almost feels right to where if KO makes it to the top of the ladders, I don't know if I'd complain.
He's done such a great work, and when that feud started, it felt kind of bland, kind of boring. But they stand that feud; they've done a great job with that feud. So that's gonna be one of the most anticipated matches of the Royal Rumble for sure. And Cody, of course, I would be shocked if Cody loses the title before WrestleMania.
Oh no, yeah, I doubt he does. But honestly, I mean, that's one of the things to where if they made the decision, I'd 100% question what is going, especially that close. Mm-hmm. To wrestle, and especially since what's odd to me right now is heading into Royal Rumble, and I guess even last year though, you didn't know what way it was going to go because you had CM Punk, you had Cody, you had those okay, any of those could main event, and then you knew Cody win in it, and then he looked up and he challenged Roman, and then of course all the things that played out from there, which made it such a great road to WrestleMania because of all the stuff that happened after, really that organically happened, then, and if you've seen the videos and the movies and the documentaries and all that stuff, you know what I'm talking about. It's set up for such a good road that, I feel like this road to WrestleMania is not going to live up to that one.
No. And it's kind of now we're talking about the road to WrestleMania. It's kind of strange because by now, usually you get some hints of where they're going, and I don't know that it seems like they're not decided yet. They said that last year they decided with the main event WrestleMania by September, but right now it feels like we're almost finishing January. We don't know where they're going to go with this. any of the feuds for the road to WrestleMania. So we'll see what happens on that. But that it might be a disappointing road for the road for, a disappointment for the road to WrestleMania. I thought about that before, so you might be onto something.
Yeah, that's one of the things that it's like, oh man, I'm hoping no, but I'm also preparing myself because it just feels like last year was such a meteoric. It went, it was up. It wasn't like, okay, we're taking a nice trip and we're slow. No, it was like, and it went all the way to WrestleMania. So
Even with the disappointment of Cody not going to the main event of WrestleMania, I was pulling for Cody Rhodes to finish the story. They pivoted still well with that whole thing about The Rock, and they make it even 10 times better.
yeah,
There's no way though that this year is going to live to the hype of last year. But
yeah. Well, I don't think there's a story that's got us so invested
no.
as what that story had everybody invested. Not only the Cody crybabies and everything else you wanted, but also the Roman versus Rock, the people that wanted that match. Then all of a sudden it's pulled from you because of the Cody crybabies. So then you had this whole, tribalist type thing to where it was like, oh, Rock, Roman, Cody needs to finish the story. And it was and then just the story that they took us on each week just made it that much better. Speaking of part of the story, this one, look, man, I love me some Jacob Fatu. I think they're doing a tremendous job with what they are doing with Jacob Fatu. The way they brought him in, the way they packaged him, the way they kind of protected him from the whole Roman thing. Yes, they got in the ring with each other and they did some stuff together, but nothing that was, overly done to where it's like, okay, we won't be able to use that again. Mm-hmm. But my one question is this, and you said it with Nia. With what he just did to Bronn, what do you do with them from here?
Now, that was the kind of finish I was expecting. I was not expecting a clean pinfall. I expected that, again, for the next Saturday main event to continue the feud. But that squash was brutal.
Yes.
That was brutal.
You had the fans chanting one more time.
One more time.
Yeah. And look, Jacob Fatu is not making that decision. They're telling him from the back, go do it. But to me, you just I don't see where Bronn comes back from this because it wasn't like three people jumped Bronn and then Jacob Fatu got on top of him.
That was a squash.
No, it was a straight Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman, and Braun Strowman got taken out.
And again, I'm kind of surprised because this is not the way I thought they were going to go with the second Bloodline story. I was expecting them to turn on Solo Sikoa and say there's losing takes consequences. They turn on Solo, and then you had Jacob Fatu against Solo Sikoa. That didn't happen, so I have no idea where they're going with this.
I almost feel like that's still going to happen, but they're trying to lean it out to where it's Jacob Fatu against Solo at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think that's
what I just saw though. They have made Jacob Fatu so much.
He's so over.
Oh yeah, I just don't know. Like when he's walking out, he's cutting in promos and he's just slanging the words around and doing whatever, and then it's Fatu.
Unless they're planning to go Roman and Fatu and WrestleMania, they're making it the beast that's an unstoppable beast, and only Roman can take him out because that's the creation he made, the consequences of these decisions. So that probably it, because I don't see the way why you will make you such a monster to wrestle to Solo Sikoa.
And then also, if you make him that monster, and then Roman's the only one that can beat him, it's like I feel like you're doing this for you're going to end up taking out a lot of your talent without doing so. And then I also read a story today. Tom Peastock, for those that don't know, Baron Corbin, the former Baron Corbin, he said he knew the writing was on the wall one time when one of the writers came into the dressing room area and said, "Hey, we need bodies to feed Jacob Fatu." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm not going to stick around for this."
That doesn't work for me, brother.
And yeah, it's one of those things. No Doubt said the road to WrestleMania and WrestleMania last year was so good that WWE in general seemed slow and off until SummerSlam. And then he said his Tonga Loa gone. No, he's injured. He's out injured. I don't know how long he'll be out for, but that also might be The
A blessing in disguise because
yeah,
he's,
yeah. I was gonna say it might
they
be
had,
a blessing in
I
disguise
had to
for
make
him.
it a manager or something like that because
Yeah,
he can cut
yeah.
it. He just can cut it.
I mean, and I think what they're doing with Tamatanga too now is as the handler kind of for Jacob Fatu, where he's the only one that Fatu's kind of following, and I think that'll lead more into the whole Solo thing because I think at some point Solo, because Jacob Fatu is doing what Solo did when Roman lost to Cody.
Mhm.
He kind of like, oh, our tribal chief lost, now I'm taking over, and that's kind of what you see. Jacob Fatu in the role that he's doing. And so ultimately, I agree with you. I think that's the way it goes. I just don't know when they're going to pull the string because the way they did Solo, where he just kind of basically quit, just kind of like, hey, all right, you guys ain't going to let me talk him out. And we haven't seen him since. So, I mean, it's only been 2 weeks or whatever, but still, it's going to be interesting to see where that leads. That leads us to the main event tonight. Main event, Jey Uso yeeting and coming through the crowd, took on the man Gunther. I'll get your thoughts and then I'll tell my thoughts. Sammy, your thoughts on
Well,
the main event.
I like Jey Uso. He's really entertaining. He's done the best he can do for his character. He's so over, but that main event, Jey Uso, he's gonna have to change the name to main event because he's main eventing and he's always losing. He loses the Intercontinental Championship. He loses to Gunther tonight. So for someone who's been called main event, Jey Uso, he's not doing a lot of winning on main event. So uh, it was an entertaining match. Counters of two styles of match. Gunther, of course, can wrestle anyone and he finds a way to put over anyone, even if he just squash him. Very physical match, more physical than I expected match. But again, it wasn't a surprise that Gunther went over. So again, it is what it is. Jey Uso, probably I think he's one of those guys that doesn't need a belt to be over. So he can lose every single time. But when you call the guy main event, Jey Uso, and he keeps losing, for me, that doesn't work for me. So what are your thoughts?
I almost feel like there's going to be a story coming out of this.
Yeah, they have to. They have to.
Like like the whole thing, like where yeah, I'm not the main event. He's gonna do one of those things like what Sammy did, right? Sammy, like I can never do the big one,
Mhm.
and then he just kind of like loses his way for a little bit, and then ultimately he comes up and finds a way to win,
Mhm.
a match there. What's interesting is I put a poll out on my X at Stanley underscore media 11, and 71% I said can clean win for Gunther over Jey Uso, right move by WWE. 71% said no. So apparently I got a lot of Jey Uso fans that are
Yeah,
following
but
me.
he's over. He's all over with the fans. The people
Yeah,
love him.
yeah, because
Rightfully
to
so.
me, Gunther is more to that belt than what. And here's the other problem I'm going to have with if Jey Uso wins a heavyweight title. And this is another thing that I think might be overlooked. If Jey Uso wins the title, you know who his reign's going to be compared to? Roman Reigns,
Mhm.
his cousin, the tribal chief. I have a feeling that that's going to be the problem. And if anything, I think he becomes like a transitional champion somewhere down the road. Not saying next week, the week after, months, nothing like that. But I think
Like,
ultimately,
like Damian Priest, the kind of champion of the
yeah,
company.
he'll touch the title at one point to move it over, I believe, to somebody else because I don't see him being that champion. You know what I'm saying? Like he's an IC title guy that could run with the IC title for a while, the US title for a while, and things like that. I just don't see him as a heavyweight champion. I don't. And maybe it's because I'm so used to always saying um it being a freaking tag team, you know what I'm saying? Like most of the tag team guys don't come out. And like you said, also it might be because the nickname, main event Jey Uso, but you can't win a big match. To me, that's why I think they run an angle off that. Because if I'm Gunther in my next promo, I would use that. You call yourself main event, but you can't even win the big one.
And the roster is stacked up. In another era when they probably need a champion, a transitional champion to put the ball on him and to see how it goes, probably. But I think, if you ask me, I don't think he was going to be a world champion. I know people love it, and he's over. There's so many greats that never won
Yeah,
the,
and then when
the
you look at
championship.
who's lined up to win the title, when you look at the roster, like where does Jey Uso fall into that?
The roster
CM
is
Punk,
stacked up.
Drew
It's stacked up.
McIntyre. I mean,
There's so many. You're gonna put Jey Uso over Drew McIntyre the belt on? That doesn't matter. Or CM Punk. John Cena probably gonna get a title run this
you got
year.
Roman still. Like you're gonna put the
Roman,
belt on Jay over Roman. Like there's just so many guys in.
even Kevin Owens. Kevin
Yeah,
Owens deserves a
I mean,
title
at this
run.
point, I think KO's earned that. And I'm
So
not saying that Jay hasn't, because he's over with the crowd. I
no,
just
he's
don't
just
know
over.
that they did him favors, like you're saying, by calling him main event. I mean, I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I like the main event Jey Uso thing, but
No,
at some point,
I like the whole persona, but I
yeah,
don't
but
get
at
what
some point
they
you got
need
to
to
come
call
through.
him main event Jey Uso. I don't get
Yeah,
it.
if you're main event Jey Uso, you got to come through in one of them. You've been in main event after main event after main event, and you haven't done anything.
That's like calling him the Michael Jordan of wrestling,
Yeah,
and he keeps losing and losing and losing. That
yeah.
doesn't
Or
work.
he'll be the Kobe, because Kobe talked about how many shots he missed. No, Michael did too. Michael did too. You're right. You're right. Michael did that as well. Tony Zag says Gunther needs to hold on to the title for a while. I'm with you, Sean. Yeah, I mean, I just think he personifies, and maybe it's the old school in me, he personifies a world champion.
Hmm.
Like when you look at him, it's like, okay, that guy's, even when he was the Intercontinental Championship, I was like, dude, just roll the title to him, man, at some point.
And of course it's a secondary world champion. You
It
need
is.
to give some stability to the championship. You can turn it over. No one gonna take it seriously. To
Yep.
put the belt on Gunther probably for the whole year and probably part of next year, you gotta give somebody to the championship.
That's exactly what they do with the IC titles and the US title, right?
Yes,
When
even he
Vince was
elevated.
there, that IC title and US title was just, all right, who we want to give it to this week? All right, who we giving it to this week? Hey, let's give it to that guy. Okay, that guy. Okay, that guy. Gunther came in with Triple H and settled that title down to make it relevant. Titles need to be relevant. We talked about it on Tuesday. To me, titles, they don't have to make somebody, and somebody doesn't have to make the title, but the titles have to be relevant. You have to want it. You have to have a group of people that want it to make and deserve it also. It can't just be like, oh, well, we got 8 people, none of them deserve it, but hey, we got to have a champion. So, and that's what I think makes, Gunther, when he talks, and you feel like champion.
Mhm. And even so, Randy Orton, probably someone who deserves it. He lost to Gunther, so uh, you have to see someone like John Cena or CM Punk, someone to be so over the top, and have a name recognition that would be worth it for Gunther to lose the championship. Other than that, I expect him to be a champion for a long, long time.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Anything else you want to cover from Saturday night's main event? And Tony Zag just jumped in. I like Gunther. He's a good heavyweight champion. I agree.
Absolutely. Probably the only thing they built for the Saturday night's main event probably is that Jacob Fatu or Braun Strowman. They might do a rematch after that, but after that squash, I already have my doubts.
Yeah, I mean, you had Braun Strowman bleeding from the mouth. Like, you don't come back next week from that.
No,
Now,
I expect it not to finish. I expect it not to be a clean victory. I expect it to be a whole mess and everything, and probably to try it again probably the next Saturday night's main event. But like you said, coming back from that's a rough spot for
Yeah.
Braun Strowman.
No doubt said, is WWE afraid to have Gunther without a title? Everyone else has to go without it. I don't buy that Gunther has to carry the title for a long time. Again, I will say he has been funnier recently. But see, that's the thing. Everybody thinks, like, he's not the entertainment guy, and he says it. He's like, I'm the sports guy. I'm not the entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the sports guy. I'm the guy, I wrestle. And again, it's one of those things to where, he's not your typical WWE guy.
No.
He doesn't have a flair for personality, but he can work his ass off. And if you've never watched Gunther before, go back to his old stuff when he was Walter. And he was almost 412 pounds or something like that. Go watch those and then watch him transition.
Mm-hmm.
Watch him transition into what he is today. And then you'll understand why he's the champion.
And in contrast, everybody has faced probably Gunther, Damian Priest,
Yes.
Jey Uso had a lot of personality.
He can
Can
work
build
any
personality.
style too. He can do.
Yeah,
You said it. He does. He can work with anybody.
he can work with everybody, and again, he probably doesn't need a championship. Again, one of those guys probably doesn't need
No,
a
no.
champion to be imposing. But the fact that he's the champion makes elevates the title. So that's the difference over there.
Yeah, I mean, because again, you might not need it, but then who else do you put it on
Yeah,
to carry that brand? You know what I'm saying? Because you have Cody carrying the SmackDown title, and then you have Gunther. You can't have two faces carrying necessarily, a title because as Tony Zag says, Gunther is a perfect heel, not meant to be entertaining. He's a workhorse, like you said. So, yeah, I mean, and he can go with he can do any style. He can base for a high flyer. He can muscle with the big guys. He can, sit in there with the legendary Randy Orton. I mean, look, I didn't expect much from that match, and it was better than I thought it was going to be because they kept it very clean and simple. And sometimes that gets lost in today's wrestling because everybody wants to see the high flying, at least one or two big high risk maneuvers. And sometimes you don't need to do that if you tell a great story in the ring and the buildup.
yes. And again, the tempo is key. So many matches now they're so fast paced, and the All Star Wrestling was when you think you're going fast, go even slower
Slow it
because
down.
the tempo is slow it down. So the tempo is key in wrestling. That's a way to tell a story. That's a way to make it entertaining. And Gunther is very good at that. You use all those opponents might be fast, but he brings back the tempo. He's in control of the match, and it makes it entertaining like that. So I think that's great for Gunther. And
Yeah,
again,
and then thinking about Gunther with him telling a
yes.
story. Think about this. They hit the spear 1, 2, and 3/4, and he kicks out. And the crowd was ready to pop, thinking Jey won the title. Then he goes up and he hits the splash, and he gets on him and he sits on him, and it's 1, 2, and 7/8 again, and he almost gets it. And then, as soon as the crowd is up thinking Jay's going to win it, snatched, and it's over just that quick.
That's great storytelling. That's what you're special. That's the difference with the other brands and WWE. They know how to make a story. They know how to make it entertaining, but they're also physical. So Gunther again is great at that. And we still haven't talked about Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is probably one of those guys who deserves a title run. He's probably waiting for that. So again, the roster is stacked. So many other guys who might be world champions or former world champions. So again, the guy like Uso might have to wait a while before he even thinks about becoming a world champion.
Yeah. Hold on 1 minute. I see a Frankie Fresco popping in here, so I want to make sure we get him in real quick.
He's Mr. Busy. He doesn't even resolve to my DM, so he's too busy now.
He's too busy? Oh, yeah. No, he just got done, I think, working.
Yeah, but he's one of the businessmen in show business. Frankly,
He's the busiest man in show business.
Yes.
I'm not going to get this.
He's too busy to respond to my DM. So
let me see. Frankie, are you ready to come on, Frankie? I don't know if Frankie's ready. Hold on. No, I don't have you in yet. Hold on.
we can hear you.
Yeah, you're in now. You're in, Frankie. I don't have a picture, but you're in. You're good, man. Talk.
Oh man, hold on a second. Why do I sound like I'm double? I can hear
You
myself
said
twice.
can.
I think you got an earpiece in or something.
Hold on.
Starting to sound like David Furones.
It's main event Frankie Fresco.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
You're fine, man. It's just a little bit of an echo. It's fine, man. You're good. We know you're not in your
I'll lower
studio.
it down.
Calm down. We know you're not in the studio.
Yeah, busy man.
So, Frankie, did you hear anything about us talking about Saturday night's main events? I know you've been working, so.
No, what happened?
All right, so Jey Uso is not the heavyweight champion. Gunther beat him. Nia Jax lost to Rhea Ripley. Bronn Breakker beat Sheamus, but Jesse Ventura said he got robbed, and now they're probably going to do something there. Cody and KO went face-to-face, and Shawn Michaels gave him some sweet chin music to KO. And Jacob Fatu put Braun Strowman in the hospital.
Damn. Okay. I
There
like
you
it.
go.
Any of that surprise you, Frankie? Do you think you're surprised by any of that?
I'm surprised that Jacob Fatu put who was it? Braun Breaker on the hospital. That's crazy.
Strowman.
That's why that was a
I mean,
surprise.
Braun Strowman. My bad.
No, yeah. And to be honest, it was a clean squash of that. Like, nobody came out or anything. Jacob Fatu took control and then just messed him up.
Wow.
Yeah, you got
That's
to watch
crazy.
it. Because that, like, it wasn't the beatdown that got me surprised. It was just how easy they made it, seeing as it was being Braun Strowman.
And blood for national
That's
television is kind of
terrible.
surprising too.
Yeah, they had blood. There was blood.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Bad blood too.
Braun Strowman bleeding. The good,
Wow.
the good
Okay.
old,
AEW vibes.
the good old internal bleeding.
Oh, it was internal bleeding.
Oh yeah, man, internal coming from the insides.
Was he bleeding through the mouth like Javon did in NXT?
Yeah, that's a WWE staple. And they love that stuff, man. They love the internal bleeding.
Damn.
Josh says you sound like Elmo. You know Josh is going to take any chance he can to go after you.
I'm actually. I appreciate the comment.
At least you're getting paid like Elmo.
I'm just tired, guys. I've been
Oh.
working all day today. It's crazy. It's
All
been
right,
a
well,
long day.
all right, Frankie. Let them know where they can get a hold of you, man.
Um, they could get a hold of me, Frankie Fresco. Sorry about the echo, man. This is
It's okay,
annoying.
bro. It's okay. I'm about to cut you off here in a minute.
But yeah, tune in Square Circle Digest on Tuesdays, and I'll try to come back. Let me get to my spot, and then I'll see if I could
Oh,
join
we're
back, and
wrapping it
hopefully
up.
I
We've
could
been
have
going
an.
for about 40 minutes.
Oh damn, for real?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, we're at the 42-minute mark right now.
Frankie,
Yes.
please check your DMs on X,
Change my DM. Oh, check my DM
please,
on it. Okay,
man.
I will.
All right?
All right, guys. I'll talk to
Make
you
it
later.
happen, my man. All right,
Later.
man. I'll talk to you in a little bit, man. Thank you,
All right,
Frankie
guys.
Fresco.
Later.
The great Frankie Fresco.
We're famous.
The crowd goes wild. All right, Frankie Fresco. All right, Sammy. Sorry, damn, Frankie Fresco. I'm so used to having Frankie. Sammy, let them know where they can get a hold of you, man, and everything that you got going on and everything you do.
Well, of course, we are at Fins Post on X, and of course at Fins TV _ on X. We're gonna have our Fins TV Awards on February the 11th. You're gonna be joining us for that show.
I will be. I will be.
Uh,
Actually, just to let everybody know, that Tuesday, Squared Circle Digest will be starting later because I need to make a appearance on Finn's TV.
we're gonna do our best to run on time so you can, we start at 7:30, so you're gonna be one of the first presenters. We're gonna have the most valuable player, of course, the defensive and offensive player, the Miami Dolphins for the year, the rookie of the year. We're gonna have a lot. I hope
Uh-oh. Sammy.
voting committee.
There we go.
February 11th, 7:30 on X and YouTube.
All right, you cut out a little bit, so just let them know again where they can see you and hear you.
Okay, at Fins Post on X and at Fins TV _ on X. We're gonna have the Fins TV Awards on February the 11th at 7:30, and again, you're gonna be joining us for the Rookie of the Year award. Probably Frankie, you're gonna be joining us too. So we could probably be talking a lot about that during the. We don't have any more Fins TVs until February 11th, so we're gonna be probably doing some posts on it to promote the event. So hopefully, people will we have some very good numbers on X and probably some okay numbers on YouTube. So probably people were that they will join us. We're gonna have a whole cast of personalities of the whole Dolphins Nation.
Yeah, definitely. Dolphin Nation, make sure you tune in. Tony Zags, real quick before we get to go, says, guys, is it me or is Cody becoming this generation's Hulk Hogan? And I mean the ultimate babyface. And I think a lot of that goes with because he understands the storytelling aspect of it. And this is, and I've talked about this before, and I don't want to drag this out a lot because Sammy's given me his time today, and I don't want to be here for.
Oh, I have all the time you need me, so I'm here for it.
All right. This is where I think the disconnect between him and Tony Khan, the whole thing where there was a disagreement, nobody will say what happened, this and that. I believe this was where the whole thing, because Cody is his dad. Cody's a storyteller, man. And the whole thing with Dusty, if you go look back, and those that don't know Dusty or wasn't around at that time, Dusty's whole story was always chasing the title. Then he would win it, and then he'd lose it like in a month.
Yeah.
And then it's the chase again, and everybody gets behind
And
him.
he gets betrayed and stuff.
Yes, and then it's betrayed, and then, the superpowers. Nikita Koloff joined them because Magnum TA was in a horrific. It was everything babyface. The problem was, in North Carolina, they didn't have the markets that Vince had with WWE. And then when Hulk Hogan became what he was, and you had the cartoons, and you had the saying your prayers and eating your vitamins, that is what blew up. That's what everybody talked about. And that's why I said the funny part about the whole thing with what Hogan did to his, the career with wrestling, and what Vince did was the two guys that kind of made wrestling mainstream self-sabotage their careers in two different ways. And now we're here. But to go back to what you're saying is, it becomes about the story of, for Cody, was the story of chasing the title. The problem I have with Cody, and this is the other thing, the other side of this is, and it's the same thing with Dusty, is once they had the title, their story wasn't the same because now they're no longer chasing. They're no longer, and Dusty always knew the right time to win the title, or the right, because look, Dusty wasn't only the heavyweight champion. He would win the tag team titles with Nikita Koloff. He would win the TV championship over Arn Anderson. So he would go after other titles, but his whole story was always chasing a title. That was his story. The same that Cody came into this with is, I need to win the title my dad didn't win, because he's won every other title, but he never won this one. What the heck just happened?
Well, while you're doing so over there, and again, Dusty, you're around on the money, and Dusty usually is like Hulk Hogan. He got betrayed for his partner every single time. Nikita Koloff, Lex Luger, Better Window, every single time he got betrayed. But Cody Rhodes' title reign kind of reminds me of the Ultimate Warrior title reign when he beat Hulk Hogan. He beat that guy who was so over, but that guy had run all over the roster, beat everybody. So when you get to be the champion, you basically get into scrap. So everybody to the guy who had the title before you. So the title reign of Cody Rhodes, I'm a Cody crybaby, I'm a confessed Cody crybaby, but still, the title reign has been kind of lackluster. This probably the best part of the title reign of Cody Rhodes has been this part of the last couple of months with Kevin Owens, because the other part of the year is been underwhelming. But like you said, it's not the same to chase the title than once you're a title. Frankie, you're there?
I think Frankie's there. Well, I can hold on a minute. I might have to change your camera again. Hold on. Now I got me change you again. Hold on. You keep doing all this stuff. I mean, you're in this high-profile Tesla SUV you got rolling here. Hold on. All right, now there you are.
So excuse me for being like dressed up. I just got off this gig, but
no, man, this is the first time I've ever seen you dressed up so much for the Squared Circle Digest, man.
Actually, he looks like a villain from a movie.
Thank you. Yeah, he does, right?
Yes.
I don't sound echoish either, right?
No,
$1 million.
not that guy. Not that guy.
Just make sure you delete this video once.
Oh no, it's up for life.
Like, you guys see me with like all nicely dressed with a hat on, like crazy.
It is.
Oh, check this out. This is the Miami Heat hat.
That's a nice.
Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Tony Zag's getting all the questions. Hold on a minute. If Tony Khan not dropped the ball, Cody versus MJF would have been amazing. Maybe we'll see. But see, where Tony didn't drop the ball then. Where he dropped the ball was when they did the absurd thing like 2 months in, where Cody lost a match to where he could never challenge for the AEW World Heavyweight title. Because you destroyed Cody. Because Cody's whole thing should have been what you got here. Him trying to get to the title. And you eliminated that right away.
You made him a mid Carter. So
yes, yeah, and then he won the TNT title, and then he was the TNT champion for ever. And then they brought in Brody Lee, and Brody Lee rightfully destroyed him because Brody Lee was the monster, and that's where the way he should have been. But again, that's the story. Cody didn't have the big story in AEW because MJF betraying him. Going back to Dusty, MJF betrayed him and took away his opportunity at ever becoming the AEW heavyweight champion, and then you relegated Cody to being TNT champion. So that was what we got. All right, everybody. We appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in to the Saturday Night's Main Event recap. Frankie, tell them one more time where they can get you at.
Well, I'm currently driving, so disregard me driving. I'm getting to my location though. I'm like turning right now. I'm turning as we speak. Hopefully, yeah.
All right, Frank, all right, Sammy, go ahead and tell them your one more time before we go.
At FinzPost on X, and of course at FinzTV_ on X also.
All right, for me, it's at Stanley Media House Network on YouTube, on Facebook. There's a page. Go join the page, join the community. Twitch, it's Sean_Stanley11. I am on X at Stanley_Media11. And of course, every Tuesday night, myself, Frankie Fresco, go over the Squared Circle Digest. We're going to start doing more of these shows during the pay-per-views and the Saturday Night Main Events, where we'll have guests on all the time. Hopefully, Sammy will be able to join us. I want to get Adrian involved.
You should do a watch along too. So
yeah, I'm thinking about it. If I can get enough people invited. I just don't want to do a watch along me just by myself. We did that with the college football. We did a little bit of the watch alongs on the Canes game when they kicked the Gators' ass and everything like that.
We did not see the college football when the Gators lost to the Hurricanes. What are you talking about? I did the other ones, but not the.
Oh, that's right. We did it after that, right? We did the 2 games after.
Yeah.
Because you were wearing that's right. You were wearing the jerseys.
You're like talking crap.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We missed that one.
Yeah, no. I wasn't gonna stream that one for sure. I wasn't gonna stream that one. I'm down to go this year to Florida versus Miami in Miami. Of
course you are.
I'm down. You and I'll be ready to talk shit. I'm telling you right now.
I hope so, Frankie Fresco. I hope you're ready to talk.
I'm here. I'm finally. See, I actually stopped. I actually am. Damn, there's like no light here, bro. That's crazy. But
this is the best you've looked on here in a while.
I know.
I will say that.
Well, you guys, before we go, is Cody becoming a Generation Hulk Hogan? Cody is starting to be a Hulk Hogan in my eyes, and I hate Hulk Hogan. The Hulk Hogan vibe. I don't mind Cody, but if he starts to turn like Hulk Hogan, bro, I'm gonna boo him. I don't like that. Don't like it.
You don't boo Hogan.
I don't boo Hogan, but I'm gonna boo Cody. I'm gonna boo Cody.
You were the guy chanting for Hogan, Ron. You wanted him back or whatever, right?
I did want him back, but I wanted him to not wrestle. So if he wrestles, I'm gonna be pissed.
So. No, there's no way he's gonna wrestle.
I hope not. I hope.
No, all right, gentlemen. I'm gonna let you guys go.
I'm gonna sign off right now.
I'm gonna go bowling. So
hold on a minute before you go hit those gutters. So long from the Sunshine State.